The Denver Broncos are one of the most intriguing teams in the NFL this season, making a number of really nice offseason moves. But in today's Madden 26 rebuild, I'm taking over as general manager, finishing this rebuild, and bringing a Lombardi trophy back to Colorado. And here is our first look at this Broncos roster as we begin this rebuild. We are led by 79 overall star dev quarterback Bo Nix. I'm honestly surprised it's not higher because he had a great rookie season. Over 30 combined touchdowns. I think that's not really well known a lot, but Bo Nix had a tremendous rookie year, kind of overshadowed a little bit by Jaden Daniels. But this offense, it definitely has some potential. J.K. Dobbins brought in from the Los Angeles Chargers, a really good late offseason pickup, if I do say so myself. And in the draft, they got R.J. Harvey from UCF, a little bit of an older prospect, but I did like him coming out. And I do think we're probably going to start the season with him as the number 2 back and maybe just be our third down guy because he is really good out of the backfield catching the football. But receiver, we are led by Courtland Sutton, an 85 overall, and really the only proven guy, I would say, in our receiving core, because outside of him, we've got Marvin Mims Jr., who does show some good potential, but he really hasn't amounted to anything yet. And actually, as I'm recording this video, Vele just got traded to the New Orleans Saints, so maybe we can try and simulate that trade here in this video. But the offensive line, again, a lot of pieces to work with. Garrett Bowles, a really good player. Quinn Miners, one of the best guards in the entire league. And Mike McGlinchey is good, although he's probably overpaid. I just think he's a good player for us. 82 overall star dev, and of course, another offseason pickup, Evan Ingram, who's an 85 superstar in Madden franchise. Kind of crazy. But on the defensive side of the ball is where the Broncos really made a couple of splashes this offseason, getting Dre Greenlaw and Talona Hufanga from the San Francisco 49ers, two really good players when they're healthy and on the field. But luckily for us, injuries are not going to be on in today's rebuild. They did also spend their first round pick on Jahdae Barron out of Texas, and I think he's going to be a great player, whether he plays nickel, boundary corner, maybe even safety at some point for the Broncos. I think he's a Swiss Army knife, very similar in my opinion to like Brian Branch of the Detroit Lions. So I think he's going to be a really good player right away as well. And this Broncos defense is honestly just really complete at every single level. You could argue maybe one more pass rusher. Nick Benito is really the only standout guy they have currently there, but he had a lot of production last season. But I think if we get one more guy to help him out, I think it could be even better, and use like Cooper and Ellis here as more some depth and rotational pieces. So we are starting off with some of the training camp drills, and of course Bo Nix, because he's one of the most important players on our entire team, and we have to do good. Hopefully get gold. I might even just take silver though if we can get there. We do have the camp counselor ability activated. If you don't know what that is, you can equip it for your coach and honestly just get a way better multiplier for your dev trait and even just your overall before the season even begins. And so that can really help us get Bo Nix improved before we even hop into week 1. So I'm really hoping we can do good in this drill. It's really just about hitting the targets and avoiding this ball. I'm not too bad at avoiding it. It's literally just about getting enough reps to be able to get a multiplier good enough to secure gold when it's all said and done. And we're doing pretty good here, getting them off quick. But like again, 15 seconds, we only have 11 targets thrown. It's going to be close if we can get there. So again, another target. We're one away from silver, and right down the middle, we got, see, still not even silver. How do we not have silver yet? Go over here, we're going to hit that, and there's silver, but we're out of time, and I guess we're just going to take it. I mean, look how far away we were from gold. We'll just take silver. And so we got 2,000 XP and 1 skill point upgrade, so we're definitely going to take that. Well, I made sure to do one for RJ Harvey as well. I really want him to be our future running back, and ensuring that he can be that, we need him to get up to superstar dev so he develops really well. Only could get silver again. I guess I'm just pretty trash at these training camp drills. We're going to take it here. Another one I really want to focus on is Nick Benito here for the Broncos, our pass rusher. This is very tedious as well to find some pass rushers in the draft usually. So if he can emerge as that star for us or superstar, which he's only star dev, which feels pretty disrespectful after how good of a season he had last year. But you know what? It's fine. We'll get him up to superstar here if we can get gold on this drill. And off to a pretty good start. I'm a pretty big fan of this one because you kind of just button mash. And then as long as you just don't face some bad RNG where the offensive lineman push you to the ground, we'll see if it happens here. It's pretty easy to get gold. So again, around this first blocker and spin move here. We've got a couple more to go, and Benito is going to be well on his way with maybe a dev trade upgrade with our boost. So Bo Nix sacked again. Got ourselves gold. And no dev trade upgrade, but another skill point, which we're going to take. And the final one I want to do is with Jahdae Barron. I want to try and get his dev trade up. He is hidden dev already, which is cool. But again, can we get that to superstar or have a better chance to get superstar? That would be really fun. So 2 pass breakups. Off to a really good start here. Honestly, should probably have a pick, but it's fine. We're going to get one right here. There's just no way. There's just no way. I'm reading this coverage like a book, and now again, we're not going to be able to get to that one. And just like that, gold is pretty much out of the question. Just such a hard route and drill to play here. So I think we need a pick now to honestly get silver, and we're going to guard this one pretty well. And he just teleports through me. Okay, Madden, that's how we're going to play today. We're just going to have him teleport through me. And now the corner of the end zone, I mean, I'm right there on really every single one of these routes except for these drag routes. And again, here, perfect coverage. Our scheme and playbook this year are going to stay the same. We're just going to test out the Broncos, see if they're any good. No clue really what to expect here. In contract-wise, I'm pretty fine with everything. I do think McGlinchey, we could potentially get out of his contract maybe after this year. If we do see a tackle maybe in the draft, I like more because he's making a ton of money. And then even somebody like Ben Powers making $17 million next year as well. I really don't love that. I mean, he's making more money next year than one of the best players in the entire league. And nothing's really standing out a ton when we look at the draft class. A lot of quarterbacks, which could potentially push some talent down the board. I guess maybe one of these pass rushers, but I really don't expect to be in this range whatsoever. I think we're probably looking at towards the bottom here. Maybe somebody on the defensive line could potentially help us out. And then honestly, a plethora of tackles as well. Even receiver we could probably consider. And it does say the strengths of this class is defensive tackle, receiver, and left edge. And honestly, I guess that does kind of coincide with what we need. And through the midseason point, we are 5-2. We are cruising at an 85 overall. And we have the #1 offense in the league. A lot of players to sign, and Nick Benito is the first one. And he does not have a ton of interest in returning to the Denver Broncos. I think I'm fine paying him $25 million a year. Still in the prime of his career, 86 overall. I think he will continue to get into that 90 range. We're going to give him a very player-friendly deal, and he's going to sign. Zach Allen did get signed in real life, and I think I also want to give him, I would probably say a 3-year deal around that 31-year-old mark before he starts to regress a ton. So we'll offer it to him. He will sign as well. I'm probably going to wait on J.K. Dobbins, to be honest, and Cortland Sutton, 29 years old. He did get signed in real life. So again, I think we'll give him a 3-year deal, lock him up long-term, and he will stay. I think John Franklin Myers, again, another good player on the interior. I want him back on a 2-year deal. He's going to sign too. But I think outside of that, I might be fine waiting on the rest of these players. Again, not really a ton of talent, some of our backups, but I think J.K. Dobbins, we definitely want to circle back with him and just see how Harvey does, how he progresses. But for now, I don't think I want to pay him that. Really, the only trade I wanted to make was Devon Vele in the 7th round pick to the Saints for their 4th. It was practically the trade that happened in real life. And guess what? It won't even go through in Madden. And we end the season 11-6, but with back-to-back losses to the Chargers and the Chiefs, our offense is still number 6 in the league. Our defense was not great this year. And funny enough, the Raiders went 12-5 and won the division. So we're going to be on the road against the Houston Texans in the wild card round, and they only won 8 games this year. But looking at the numbers, Bo Nix had an incredible season, 4,100 yards, 37 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. J.K. Dobbins did go over 1,000 yards, and R.J. Harvey, this really wasn't a huge part of our offense. Receiving-wise, Cortland Sutton had 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns, and Devon Vele, who literally got traded in real life the day I'm filming this, had over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, this is unbelievable. Zach Allen had 20.5 sacks. Nick Benito had 19.5. Jonathan Cooper had 9 as well. John Franklin Myers had 7.5. Very good seasons. And look at the new 49er players. Dre Greenlaw and Hufanga carried us with interceptions. My goodness. But theoretically, we should be able to win this 5 versus 4 matchup. I know this Broncos rebuild is theoretically a little bit easier than some of the other ones they could have done, but there's like no way we go all the way to the Super Bowl, right? And we do win our first playoff game, 31-10 against the Texans, and I think Bo Nix had a good game. He did 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 pick. But now we're on the road against the Raiders, and I don't know why the Raiders are just so good in this file for whatever reason. I guess Geno Smith and Ginty are having themselves a great season, but we're again just going to sim it here. We do have the overall advantage, and we won again. We destroyed the Raiders 35-14. What is going on? Bo Nix carved them up. 4 touchdowns, 246 yards. And yeah, Geno Smith had 2 picks. Who was intercepting him? Let's take a look. I'm guessing maybe Patrick Surtain. And it was Dre Greenlaw again. Why is this guy like an interception merchant? He had, what, 5 in the regular season and 2 already in the playoffs as a middle linebacker? That's pretty crazy. And now we're on the road against the Buffalo Bills, the #1 seed. I just don't think we're going to win this game. Like, there's no way, right? I also just don't think it's right for me to hop in to these playoff games in year 1 of this supposed rebuild, and we literally won 31-21 against the Buffalo Bills. This is a historic run for a wildcard team. Again, Bo Nix is just generational. 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. Allen had 2 picks, and this was a rematch actually from last year's playoffs. And again, Hufanga, Surtain, both had picks. But I guess let's hop into the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield and see what we can do. This Bucs offense is really elite, and it looks like we might have turned it over. They're going to start off 3-0. But how crazy would it be if in our first year of this rebuild, we win the Super Bowl without me even making a singular move, and we have the lead late in the third quarter, 14-10. And again, now it's 21-10. It's 21-18. The Buccaneers make it 25-21 just like that. And another 4th down play, and we're going to lose. We're going to lose. So we made it to the Super Bowl in year 1, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win 25-21 and heartbreak for Bo Nix, this Broncos team. But now I at least feel good a little bit because I can make some moves to get us over the hump and finally get ourselves another Lombardi. In the season recap, Baker Mayfield did win Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen won NFL MVP going back-to-back. And Ashton Ginty took home Offensive Rookie of the Year. Here was our last look at players to negotiate with. I think I am going to let J.K. Dobbins walk and hand the backfield over to R.J. Harvey in year number 2. And then I think Jaleel McLaughlin, probably let him walk as well. We'll probably take a running back in day 2 or 3 just to be kind of the power back to RJ Harvey. I guess we can just lock up Will Lutz. He's good enough. I don't want to have to worry about a kicker really the rest of this video. So how about a 6-year deal, $2 million each year? Is he going to take it? Now, there are some pretty good players in free agency, but I don't think in the price range I'm looking to spend, we don't need somebody that bad. Maybe if a running back can be like a discount player for us, like AJ Dillon, he wants $3 million a year. Probably still just going to draft one, honestly. And the receiver class this year is not great. Like, I don't want to sign D-Hop to be like our wide receiver too. So I think we're probably just going to sim through for agency, honestly. And before the NFL draft, I am going to move Mike McGlinchey, 31 years old, ton of cap hit. We already saw that for the next 2 years. I don't quite know what I want. I think Wyatt Milam here from the Jaguars, honestly, is what I'm going to take. The rest of the offers are just kind of whatever. Like, I think Poona Ford would be good, but again, older, making $11 million. Don't think I quite want to do that. Milam, you get a really young player, cost controlled for the next few years. And now we can move Ben Powers as well. The Saints are one of the only teams that have enough cap space to bring him in because he's making $18 million. Like, that is insane. I'll take like a 5th round pick for him, and the Saints just do not want to do that. I would even take like a 7th, kind of just like a salary dump. How about this 6th round pick? They're going to do it. So we get their 6th round pick. We ship them Ben Powers, just a salary dump for us. I really do like this move. And in the draft, we are going to go after one of these tackles. I think Owen Kramer or Jaleel Morgan make a lot of sense, round 1 or 2. So they're going to be available at our pick. And they are the best talent. So that's left tackle. You go to right tackle again. Decent players, but again, the 2 best for us are going to be one of these 2 guys. So we're probably going to evaluate them at our pick, move them to right tackle, and we have our McGlinchey replacement. Well, I guess I'm just an idiot because I did not think they were going to be picked, and they both are. I know it's hard to see because of this glitch, and now I have no clue what I want to do because there's no value now with any of these tackles. I kind of just fumbled, I'm going to be honest. I really might have just fumbled this draft. And there's a couple of pass rushers that look okay, like Devin Downing here. He's Speed rusher, only 6'1", so he's undersized, but really, really athletic with A, finesse move, B, awareness. Could be a decent flyer here into the first round, but again, is he really worth it? And then we have Alfonso Broyles. He's again 6'2", so smaller, but really good speed, really good finesse moves. I think he's probably better than the other guy, but again, do we want to take him here? I think the only other option, which would be a really, really fun pick, is KJ Fowler. This kid is basically Tyreek Hill. 4.25 40-yard dash, almost a 40-inch vertical, and his skills aren't terrible. A spin move, A run block, B break tackle. You know, I think KJ Fowler would just be so fun. We're going to do it. Obviously undersized, 5'9", 193, but he's basically Tyreek Hill. We have our physical threat in Courtland Sutton. Let's get a speed demon down the field and spend a high resource on potentially another superstar receiver. He's number 16 in true value. He's hidden dev with 99 speed, 95 acceleration. I really like this pick. And now I think we're going to go after another pass catcher. I know we have Evan Ingram, but Jose Reyes from Oregon, 6'2", 247 pounds. I mean, his measurables are insane. 4.53 40-yard dash, a 36-inch vertical. Obviously smaller for a tight end, but dude, he looks so good across the board. And we're just adding speed, and more speed. He's number 44 in true value. He's hidden dev with 88 speed, 91 acceleration. I mean, our offense is going to be so good again. We do need another lineman. I could slightly be reaching here. Eli Haslam from Notre Dame. I mean, that is kind of a factory for offensive linemen. But I just fall in love with these physicals. Great acceleration, elite jumping, great agility. I mean, he fits really well for our offense. A lead block. I mean, I guess his pass blocking is kind of iffy, but A awareness and B run block I think is pretty good here. And hopefully he can be a day one starter for us. And he's 74 in true value, hidden dev again, 89 strength. We got ourselves another starter on the offensive line. And now take a look at this board and how many defensive tackles are here. This is pretty ridiculous. And looking at all of them, I guess they're all here because they're really bad, but I think Taylor Grayson is probably the best. 6'4", 303 pounds from Colorado. Decent physicals. I mean, that great speed stands out again. But like, see across the board, a couple of Fs in there. Deep power move. Like, I don't love it. But we're just going to close our eyes and just take a flyer on him here. And that is why you don't do that, ever. Because he's 309 in true value. This guy's just not going to make the roster. Look at this draft recap. 77 overall for KJ Fowler. Rees is a 74. Haslam is a 72. Grayson is maybe the worst player I've ever drafted in Madden. This guy kind of stinks. And we did get Cameron Mercer in the 5th round, a 66 overall tackle. And even a 65 overall in Matt Moore. So we'll see. Maybe one of these guys has good development. Maybe we can improve them a bit. And taking a look at our roster, Garrett Bowles decided to retire. I just didn't even think that was like a possibility. And so now we're kind of scrambling for this season. I don't know how that just completely went over my head, but he retired. So we really have no tackle at this point. So I guess that makes my trading of McGlinchey even dumber. But Wyatt Milam, we may have to move him to one of these tackle spots. I think he was a guy that was seen as maybe better suited to play guard, but can maybe swing out to tackle if needed. But yeah, this is going to be really interesting now. Mercer, he is hidden dev. So maybe, potentially, we might just start him at right tackle, see how good he can do, but he is just a 66 overall. But I guess we're going to move Haslam to right guard, make Milam left tackle for this year, and just cross our fingers that it goes okay. I mean, Milam is 6'7", 313 pounds. He does have the size. I think the thing with him was like his arm length. Can he have the reach to be able to stop some of those pass rushers? I guess we're going to see this year because we're going to have him playing left tackle. The defense this year, again, looks really good. Brandon Jones, Hufanga also did get a dev trade upgrade to superstar. Same with Benito. So that's actually really good for our defense. There's really not much else to do here. Maybe eventually a defensive tackle because Myers, Allen, and Jones all getting up there in age a little bit. But I think one more rotational piece there. Maybe another pass rusher still. Like that's just going to be a stud for us. Well, the defense is probably championship caliber. I might try and package a couple of these receivers for some offensive line help. We'll see what we can do. So it doesn't look like we can find much offensive line help with our 2 receivers. I'm looking to trade in Mims and Vele, but Ashton Galade, the Chiefs are willing to give up a 23-year-old pass rusher, star development, 79 overall for Mims. I know this might hurt Bronco fans to send Mims to the Chiefs, but this is too good value. I'm going to do it. And I think because we need offensive line help so bad, I'm going to take Bergeron here, another guy that may have some flexibility to play tackle. Ingram, Vele, 2 players we don't really need anymore. I'm going to get us some offensive line help. Our first look at next year's draft class, again, some tackles for us, which we really could use. Hopefully, though, we won't be in range to select one of these guys. I need you guys to trust me. I'm going to get this train on the tracks. We may have a Super Bowl hangover after losing, but 1 step back for 2 steps forward. We are going to reach the top of the mountain. It just might take us a couple seasons now to revamp the team as we're kind of moving in a younger direction. The playbooks are going to stay the same. I am going to have KJ Fowler, our 5'9" receiver, playing in the slot. I think he's going to have a monster season. But through the mid-season point, we are 5-2, and our offense this year, it is not great passing the football, which maybe is expected with how bad our offensive line is. But we have 7 players to negotiate with and a ton of cap room. That is the plus to getting rid of some of these older and more expensive players. I think Brandon Jones on a 4-year deal makes sense. Riley Moss has been playing nickel for us, and I still think I like him in that role. He doesn't have much interest in playing for us, but I think $6 million a year makes sense. He won't sign right now. We'll see if we can get him back, though. Drew Sanders is a really good player. 4-year deal makes sense. He won't commit right now, but we're going to get him. And Matthew Bergeron, $9 million a year to be our right tackle, or maybe move him inside in the future. Again, pretty good deal. And another guy that won't sign right now. And the Denver Broncos, predictably, a little bit worse this year, going 10-7, but still making the playoffs, and hilariously enough, on the road against the Houston Texans. Our defense kind of fell off the end of the year. Our offense got better, but not great. Bo Nix threw for a lot less yards this year, but really similar stats to last year. 36 touchdowns to 9 picks. RJ Harvey took over the backfield, had 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. Even Estime, he led us with 6, kind of our goal line back. And Fowler, our rookie receiver, had him in the slot this year, 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. I'm telling you, he's Tyreek Hill 2.0. Has a chance to maybe have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And of course, Mr. Consistent, Cortland Sutton, another 1,100-yard season for him. And honestly, the offensive line wasn't terrible. Wyatt Milam struggled a little bit at left tackle, but 8 sacks, I've seen a lot worse. And defensively this year, I do not know what happened. We didn't change anything, but Jonathan Cooper led us with 10.5 sacks. Benito did have double digits, but Zach Allen went from 20.5 to 8. And interceptions-wise, Surtain and Barron led us with 2 each, and kind of spread out across the rest of our team. But Greenlaw didn't have a historic year picking off quarterbacks as a middle linebacker this year. But this year, it's the 3 versus 6 matchup. The Texans are better this year. I'm again just going to sim this game, and we're going to see if we can move on. I don't quite think we're a Super Bowl caliber team, but who knows what will happen. And we did lose 22-19. CJ Stroud tore up our defense in Bo Nix. It looks like he did struggle against a pretty good defense. If it makes you feel any better, the Texans did go all the way and win the Super Bowl, but KJ Fowler, only thing we care about, he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's going to be generational. But our offense is looking really good. Reyes is only a star dev. A little disappointing there, but still going to be a good player. I mean, he's pretty much exactly where Evan Ingram was when we traded him. The question now, though, is what we want to do with the offensive line. Milam is okay. Mercer had actually a lot of improvement for not even playing. But I don't know what we want to do because Bergeron, he's wanting to test free agency, but so is Riley Moss, our slot corner. We can only franchise and theoretically keep one of them. I don't know who we should prioritize. I'm thinking maybe Riley Moss, and we'll just kind of go from there, but I don't love this spot we're in. We are going to accept the 5th-year option on Bo Nix, and we are going to have to pay him soon, so that is something also to think about. But like Bergeron has a lot more interest in playing for us, so I think Riley Moss, we are just going to franchise tag him. $26 million though, honestly, no, forget it. We're not going to pay him $26 million. I don't even think I want to give a franchise tag of $21 million to Bergeron, so we're just going to try and get these guys once they hit the open market. Marvin Mims is back in free agency, wants to return to Colorado. Bergeron is the top tackle In free agency, I'm probably just going to offer him this deal. We'll bump up the money a little bit. Maybe give him a 3-year deal. If he signs it, cool. If he doesn't, I'm kind of fine with that as well. I think the only thing we might do is just get another will linebacker to help out our depth. Dorian Williams, 3-year deal, makes sense for him. We could try and get Cal Hamilton, but we don't really need a safety. Maybe we can trade somebody away. I mean, he's just a younger, better version of Hufanga. So maybe we could try and use him as trade bait. So we'll offer Hamilton a deal. But we're not going to go all in on him. I think $19 million a season is plenty for a strong safety. And we did get Cal Hamilton. We got Dorian Williams as well. Bergeron said no to us. So I think that kind of puts us into a box for what we're going to spend our first round pick on again. I mean, Hufanga has really good value. We can get a lot of really good young players. JC Latham, maybe, who I want to invest in here. A 3rd round pick as well from the Titans seems kind of insane. The Raiders also want to give us Charles Grant. So a really good couple options there. I really like LaMarcus Greenwood, though, a Mike linebacker, still in the prime of his career, only 22 years old, and he's a superstar. But, I mean, we don't really need a Mike linebacker. I think you just got to go JC Latham, get a 3rd round pick as well. We're going to take this offer here. Okay, a couple more depth signings, Darnell Washington and Glenn Williams to be our fullback. And I'm also trying to get back Riley Moss on a pretty good deal, $8.5 million a season. We have the top offer, so he might be fighting and clawing his way back to Colorado. And look who's back. Riley, you're going to be the water boy the first couple of weeks of the season for this. So here's the team heading into the draft. Really not a ton of flaws. I do think maybe another tackle because Mercer's just not very good protecting the blind side of Bo Nix. I did move Milan back to center. So he's played guard in the NFL. He's played left tackle, now to center. Kind of crazy, but he's an idiot overall there. I think receiver were fine. Fowler and Pat Bryant have developed really well for us. And I really just think one more offensive lineman. You go to the defensive side of the ball, a little bit of regression with Zach Allen. And I do also think Greenlaw is regressing a bit now too, down to an 84 overall base. A little bit interesting. May think about moving Greenlaw, just making Sanders our starter. We'll see what happens though by the trade deadline. But I think at this point, just some depth and a starting tackle. And looking at the left tackles, there's a pair of really good ones again. Round 1 talent, and we're pick number 19 here. So one of these guys should definitely be here. PJ Monroe and Philip Graham. We'll see who's on the board when we pick. Hopefully both of them, so we'll get our selection. And PJ Monroe just got picked right before us, so that might have kind of picked our hand. And okay, Philip Graham is here. He is projected to be the 3rd tackle now off the board. Maybe we can trade back. I'm just trying to think of the best value play. We're going to move back to 29 with the Vikings, get a 2nd round pick next year. If this guy is gone by our pick, I'm uninstalling the game. And the 2 other tackles are gone, but Philip Graham, the round 1 talent, is still here. He's 327 pounds, 21 years old, 6'7", power archetype, and his physicals are pretty good. Elite strength, kind of all you really need for a tackle. Good speed as well to get out, to run some of those outside zones in Sean Payton's scheme. A impact block, A awareness. It's a no-brainer here. We now have our left tackle, number 7 in true value. This guy is going to be really good. Hidden dev, 95 strength. Could take another linebacker to replace Dre Greenlaw, and I think Kerry Bennett is going to be the guy. 6'2", 232 pounds, and he's got great speed and athleticism. A 4.43, actually a 4.37 at his college pro day. We know they kind of make up those stats a little bit there, but you know what? 4.37, we're going to say it here. 32-inch vertical leap, and guess what? He just plays the game the right way. I don't know how he has that sneaky athleticism to his game, but Kerry Bennett here is going to be the pick. Looks like a really good athlete. He's 122, normal depth. So he faked us all out. He's got great athleticism, but for what? In the 3rd round, really nothing else here. Just going to trade my pick and maybe just bet on the Browns being bad. So we're just going to take that. I did do some scouting on this center, just more depth for our offensive line. Honestly looks really good. He's 100 in true value. Got him at 115. Hidden dev, 83 strength. Pass protector at 6'2", so a little bit short for a lineman, but I think still pretty good depth player for us. We didn't really need a center. And Philip Graham is a 78 overall. Bennett, 69, probably a big miss for me. Not very good. The center's a 70. We did get a backup running back named Dion Cohen receiving back 72 overall. But outside of these two picks, not a great draft. The best player in the draft was Darrell Joseph, an 83 overall 21-year-old running back. I'm pretty sure this guy was like 5'7", so like an Ashton Jeanty clone. But I don't really think we missed out on a ton. I mean, really for our needs, we did get Graham here, who's the best tackle in this draft. I think you could argue this is our best overall team. Offensive line, really strong now. We really turned it around in one off season. Latham and Graham now. That's a dirty tackle duo. Weaponry, I think Fowler's going to continue to just be an unreal player. I do want to hop in and see how good he is in real game action. Bo Nix up to 88 overall, superstar dev. Harvey really hasn't developed as much as I had hoped. 81 overall star dev is okay. And Reyes hopefully has a good season for us, so he can get up into the 80 overall as well. On the defensive side, just a lot of really good impact players. Cal Hamilton, a new addition this year. Surtain is still a great player. Riley Moss and Barron, two other cornerbacks we have still in our secondary. I do think I'm going to make Galop the starter this year over Jonathan Cooper, who's been really good for us, but I think a lot higher upside, younger. I want him to get some reps this year. And Greenlaw, he's regressing pretty fast. I think I may try and ship him off during the trade deadline. We'll see what happens, though, and how good we're playing. But defensively, really good. Nothing really to complain about. In the draft class this year, again, kind of similar to what we've seen in the past. Offensive and defensive line. A couple of corners maybe we can invest in. It says it's our top need. Don't really know how it is, but okay. Through the midseason point, we are 4-2. I think maybe our worst start. Our offense is really electric, but our defense. Brought in Kyle Hamilton to help out our secondary, and it really hasn't helped out so far. We've got 14 players to sign, and Dre Greenlaw is the first one up. I think I'm going to shop him. John Franklin Myers, 30 years old. I think a one-year deal makes sense. I think that's fine for just one more year. Really don't have that much cap room to spend, but again, not really a ton of key players to bring back, just a lot of our backups, but I do think we're going to ship Dre Greenlaw off right now. The Falcons were offering us Devon Vele back, who I guess is superstar now, which is kind of funny. I mean, we are getting some really good offers, just young, really ascending players. Puna Ford again, but I guess Pat Brooks here from the Colts and a 4th and 5th round pick. 80 overall star dev, 23 years old. I know we don't need one this current second, but Brandon Jones, he is going to be an expiring contract soon, so we're going to make this trade happen. It doesn't impact us too bad because we do have Drew Sanders here to take over. Obviously, lower overall, but younger. I think he'll still be in that range come the end of this season. And now we just have Brooks to sit behind Brandon Jones and develop, and he'll be ready to take over in a couple of years. And we again end the season 10-7, but as a wild card team, the Chiefs are back in the driver's seat in the AFC West. Our offense was pretty good again. It's just our defense really struggled in pass coverage, which doesn't make any sense to me. Bo Nix this season is really hovering around his same stats, 4,100 yards, 34 touchdowns to 8 picks. On the ground, RJ Harvey over 1,000 yards again and had 7 touchdowns. Estime, though, was kind of phased out this year. Receiving-wise, not as much production from Fowler this year, but still over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. Sutton, again, over 1,000 yards and 2 yards away for Pat Bryant, who actually had a really good season for us. Defensively this year, Benito and Allen were back and had really good seasons. Interceptions-wise, Surtain led us with 2, but not really a ton of turnovers forced. We are the number 6 seed again against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Steelers are the number 1 seed. Who knows who their quarterback is? But let's hop into this game against the Jaguars and just get our first look at this team. They are going to go down the field and make it 7-0 early on. But here's Bo Nix, I think in year, number 4 already? We've got Fowler, our little mini Tyreek Hill Jr., and we're going to throw it to him in the end zone. Bo Nix overthrew him, but there's going to be a pass interference, I think. And now we're going to give a handoff to RJ Harvey, try and get him in the end zone, and we've got it. It's 7-7. Jacksonville, though, goes right down the field, and I think they're going to take a lead into halftime. Actually, we're going to tie it up 14 apiece. And again, no scoring in the third quarter. This is going to be a tight one. We are in again with Bo Nix in this offense. I honestly thought we'd have a couple more star players, like even Sutton. I don't know why he's not viewed as a star here. Here's Cohen, our rookie running back, for a nice catch. I really want to try and get Fowler a touchdown. It would just be really cool. Nothing open. We're just going to dump it down to Cohen again. First down. Fowler again on this little speed route I thought could be open, but we're going to lob it in to Reeves, our tight end, our second-year tight end. And we just took the lead. Jacksonville is on the move. They have to go for it here on 4th and 2. Trevor Lawrence, ETN still in the backfield, and Trevor underneath here to their tight end. He's going to take a big hit, but they got the first down. Going to be using Dorian Williams, one of our free agent pickups, again underneath here to Brian Thomas. Jags burn another timeout. But here we go, 2nd and goal at the 7. Lawrence is going to fire it. There's no way he held on to that. So it's a tie game, and now we're going to attempt to go down the field with 22 seconds. We do have some timeouts. Reeves on this little post corner, and it's picked off by Travis Hunter. Luckily, we got a stop, so we're in overtime now, and now we're going to try and go down the field and win this game. I guess the Jags defense is just generational because Harvey has 22 yards and 11 carries. Bo Nix hasn't been able to get loose. I'm not sure what else we can do, but how about Cortland Sutton down the field, and Hunter is just everywhere. I'm not sure why I keep targeting him, but I just saw the one-on-one coverage to our big-bodied receiver, cross the middle of the field again, and this time Fowler holds on. That's our star, but I don't even know what happened. Jacksonville has the ball, and I think they just won the game. They did. So I go into sim, Jacksonville kicks a field goal, and we're going home. Another season of no playoff wins for our Broncos here. The Carolina Panthers went all the way, and Nick Gordon won Super Bowl MVP. That is just super niche. Our last look at players to negotiate with, Jahdae Barron, I do want to accept his 5th-year option. But outside of him, I think we're fine letting all these other players hit the open market. There's some pretty good players in free agency, mostly older veterans, and we don't really have much money. So again, probably just going to go ahead and sim to the draft. We're going to move up from 20 to number 8 with the Indianapolis Colts. We sent them our backup center, who's actually pretty good, a 4th and 7th to move up 12 spots. And it's going to be for Rashawn Barton here, a corner. Our pass defense was really bad last year, and I'm not really sure why. We don't really need a corner, but I mean, this guy seems like he's generational, so we're going to take him out of Notre Dame here. And he's number 2 in true value, hitting dead with 95 speed, 95 acceleration. I mean, you can't really ask for a better prospect. Here in the 2nd round, there really isn't a ton of good talent. I mean, this linebacker would be a reach. He's around 3 or 4 talent. He's got pretty good physicals again, but his skills just aren't great. I think this running back, Malik Donnell, looks really good. He ran a 4.43 at his 40-yard dash. He's got elite acceleration as well. We don't really need a running back, so we're kind of stuck whether we want to reach for a need, go BPA. I don't think there's a defensive tackle we're taking either. Maybe you can argue this guy down the board and Tom Rutland from Texas, but he's undersized at 6'1". Honestly, looks pretty good. Just looking at it, so we're just going to draft him here. He's number 31 in true value. He is only normal dev, but he's not going to have to start right away. Some good developmental piece for us. We pick again a couple picks later, and Thad Quincy, this linebacker again, really good speed, but his skills honestly are pretty good as well. He's number 78 in true value, another normal dev player, but 91 speed for a linebacker is crazy. Our draft recap is really interesting. I let the CPU take over after our first couple of picks, but Barton is an 82. Rutland is going to be a really good player as well, a 75. But then we drafted a lot of just not really great players, including a 4th-round quarterback named Matt Wakefield. But we had so many picks in this draft due to a couple of the trades that we made. And I think we got a couple good players, but yeah, a lot of bust. The best player in the draft was Ben Santos, this guard. We didn't really miss out on a ton, I don't think. The team this year is honestly just insane. Bo Nix is up to Superstar X Factor. Reese is now an 80 overall Superstar as well. I don't know how he upgraded, but really not a flaw on this offense. The offensive line is really good weapons, really good quarterback. And defensively, I guess Dorian Williams either retired or left in free agency, but I wasn't quite aware of it again. Now that we have Barton, I might try and flip Abrams Drain for a will linebacker. We'll see if we can do it though. We're going to send Abrams Drain in a 5th for Jack Kaiser, 77 overall, still fairly young. I actually really like this trade. I am going to change our defensive playbook to the Ravens. I think they always have a pretty good defense in this game, so we're going to try that this year to help out our defense improve. But here is a look at the draft class. I'm hoping we don't have to spend a ton of time on this and we can win the Super Bowl this year, because this is also the final year of Bo Nix on his rookie deal. It's only going to get harder once we have to pay him a bunch of money. And through the midseason point, our best start at 6-1, our defense is number 1 in the league. Our offense is number 1 in the league. You can't ask for a better start to this season, I guess, if actually we went 7-0, but still an amazing start. Players to sign, Bo Nix is up first. We have $129 million in cap room. Obviously, want to get Bo back, and he's going to sign. Quinn Miners, one of the best guards in the league. We're going to pay him $22 million a season. That's crazy. Just like that, we're down to $53 million in cap room. And Wyatt Milam is up next. I want to offer him a deal. He will sign. JC Latham is going to be very expensive as an offensive lineman. $22 million a year. And there are a few other players to bring back and sign, but we're going to have to figure out some of this later because we don't have a ton of cap space at the moment. And look at the Broncos cook. 14-3, the number 4 offense, the number 1 defense, so the playbook change definitely helped us out. Stats for the season, Bo Nix honestly might have had his worst statistical year. 4,100 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 picks, still a really good season. On the ground, RJ Harvey stole a lot of those touchdowns inside the goal line, had 15 of them. Finally, maybe broke out this year. Receiving wise, Fowler was really good. Pat Bryant, over 1,100 yards, and Sutton really fell off this year. But defensively, didn't even really have a ton of sacks. But Nick Bitonio led us again with 13.5. And picks wise, again, not really a ton. I don't know how our defense was so good. And we do get the first round bye, so we're 2 wins away from returning to the Super Bowl, which we did in the first year without me making any moves. It's taking us this long to have a real chance of making it back. And I guess the Titans were frauds, the number 2 seed. I think they had 13 wins this year. They lost 19-14 to the 7 seed Cleveland Browns. Their quarterback is Marquise Spurlock, so not Shedeur Sanders or any of the other 5 quarterbacks they currently have on their roster. But if this Browns team just took down the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs, they've got to be pretty good. And I'm honestly realizing this is our first home game we've hopped into this entire rebuild, which is kind of crazy. Hopefully this is easy work against the Browns. And as I say that, they start off 7-0. We are going to make it 7-7, but they again answer. We kind of have a shootout. I don't know what happened to our number 1 ranked defense this year. So we're going to make it 14-10 at half. Going to hop in here with Bo Nix and try and get us another touchdown to give us the lead here. Some play action. Our Tyreek Hill clone. What a grab. We'll now try and run behind Quinn Miners. Maybe the best guard in football. RJ Harvey. Clear path down to the 1. So let's try that again. We've poured so many resources into this offensive line. I trust us up front, and Harvey's in. We've got the lead. Can our defense now, which is top ranked in the league this year, get a stop? We do not hold them. It's 21-17. We do go down the field, and on 4th down, we get it. It's a 3-point lead. And the Browns now have a 4th and 4. We are going to hop in on defense and hopefully get a stop here. Using Dorian Williams again. The Browns, they're going to run for it, and their quarterback's got the first down and a bit more, and he took a huge hit. And they found themselves in field goal range at the 27-yard line. We do get a kick animation, and we block the kick. We have blocked the kick. Kyle Hamilton scoops it up, and oh my goodness, what a way to clinch our first win in these playoffs. We got the running animation right out of the gates, and it was none other than Riley Moss, who wanted to leave us. We got him back, and he makes the play of our season to not make this game go to OT. And now we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the number 5 seed, a wild card team again. A lot of upsets. The Patriots didn't even notice, took down the Ravens. And we will see what we can do against the Steelers team. Hopefully not as close of a game as last week against the Browns, and 14-0 early on. The Steelers, though, obviously, with the way that this Madden sim works, do respond and make it 14-14. And in the second half, it's kind of a defensive struggle. I'm going to hop in here and maybe fire one to Pat Bryant and try and just ice this game. We've got the one-on-one coverage. Pat Bryant holds on to it. What a grab. And that's just probably going to about do it here. One stop from our defense. We've got it. And the Denver Broncos, finally, I think in year 4 or 5, we're going to be heading back to the Super Bowl. Sean Payton type, or whoever is playing as Sean Payton. And in the Super Bowl, we have Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams, the number 1 seed. Their quarterback is Clyde McCauley from Washington. 42 touchdowns on this season is insane. Of course, still at Puka Nacua, and Calvin Ridley is their wide receiver too. But I think this might be a shootout, so hopefully we come out on the right side of it. And hilariously enough, we're playing this Super Bowl in the Buccaneer Stadium, the team that beat us in our first year. But we had the ball first, and honestly, kind of a defensive battle so far. It looks like we are going to get inside the red zone and have to settle for 3. This Rams offense, which was so vaunted, young quarterback, blah, 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 They've done nothing against our defense in this first half at 6-0. This has honestly been a slugfest. I really hope we can get in the end zone here with Bo Nix and maybe get him a Super Bowl MVP. But we have our Tyreek Hill replacement down the field, down to the 2. I don't know why I said replacement. He's not really a replacement. He's just kind of a clone of Tyreek, just a very similar player. We're going to fire to our tight end here. He's going to hold on, and that could maybe do it. We got the 2-point conversion. The Rams only get a field goal. And let's maybe ice this game here with a Bo Nix, little bootleg, get outside the pocket, fire to the end zone, and it's Fowler, making a one heck of a catch. And this Rams offense is not ready for prime time, kind of like the Jared Goff versus the Patriots, because we've won the Super Bowl. 20-3, 15-3 on the season. And the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, Bo Nix, we have done it. Bo Nix did win Super Bowl MVP, which is awesome to see, but we didn't take home any regular season award, which feels a little disrespectful. That is going to do it for me in today's video. Here is a final look at the team. Pat Bryant is now up to superstar. He developed really well for us. This offensive line's insane. Fowler, I'm telling you, is just a Tyreek Hill 2.0. And Bo Nix up to a 97 overall superstar X Factor. RJ Harvey, a really good player now as well. I'm really happy with how this rebuild turned out. Kind of a unique route here. Making the Super Bowl in year 1, then having a few seasons of just barely sneaking into the playoffs. And now we finally got over the hump. And you love to see it. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And let me know in the comment section below which team I should rebuild next.